Hi, dear friends. Today we are going to see how to prepare centerline plan in Autocad. Generally, while going for preparation of centerline plan, we are supposed to understand first of all some basic things, which is nothing but the preparation of plan. You should have a plan which will be given along with the sizes of the column or the columns alignment and locations. So particularly for this particular plan, we are going to consider two different types of the columns, that is 0.23 by 0.38, that is 230 by 380 mm size, and 230 by 450 mm size. So accordingly, for an example only, this particular column sizes I have considered. According to your structural design, whatever sizes of the beams columns are there, that you can adopt for your particular diagram or the plan or structural design. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place and this particular columns according to my judgment in this particular plan. So we can observe how we are going to check or how we are going to prepare and centerline plan and foundation layout for AutoCAD drawings. So one by one, what I'm going to do, one by one I am going to place all the columns whatever required. So these are the 230 by 380 columns I'm going to place now. While going for the any kind of the work in AutoCAD, generally one should have the practice to make all the things in layer system, because what is going to be happen whenever you are working in layers, so you can use or you can just switch on and switch off the layers. So accordingly, one one can use these particular properties very smartly, and one can have the required data as it is what you require while drafting or drawing. So for column particularly, I have given this particular shading, and I'm considering this particular given things as a column, because what will happen whenever I'm supposed to take in this drawing as a separate one, so at that time I'm supposed to switch off some another layers and supposed to use some required layers. So this is what now I am showing the all the columns for whatever particular diagram or whatever particular plan is there. So accordingly, one by one we are going to place these particular columns. But if one is having the structural drawing or this particular column location mentioned already, so one can directly start with the working on the showing for the central line plan. So now uh, we are going to show, or we are going to locate one by one all the columns. So some of the time while placing the column, you should be careful that is it this columns or the column location we are providing is correctly placed or not, and accordingly we should consider each and everything, that how we are placing the columns and how the location is being finalized. Because what is happening some of the time, the people the who is working on these particular drawings are not being aware that is it this particular columns are being located on the exact location. Because what will happen that if this column is not located properly, then the center line whatever you are going to find out, that could not be a proper dimension. And that's why whenever you are working on any kind of the drawing, you should be taken these particular things uh, approximately or appropriately. So that's why what we are considering is considering accordingly. So right now I have shown all the columns or column position, and uh, we can see that these are the columns whichever I have shown. Instead of this, I will replace this one and I will put one column as a 230 by 450 size, because what is happening, the length or the span whatever we have given for the this hall is of larger dimension, that is 4.5 meter, and according to the experience or according to the practice we can say that for this particular length we should have or we should provide an 450 width of the column. So 230 by 450 I have provided over here. In this particular location, if anyone required, we can provide an column over here also. If it is not required, then you can be okay. So if instead of that I will provide an one single column, again of one size of 230 by 30 mm. As again I already told you that this particular uh, problem or this particular video we are observing only to understand how to prepare a center line plan. So don't be go with the sizes whatever I have used or what particular column sizes and alignment I have provided. Is it right? So this is what we are having our plan in our hand now, which is showing all the dimensions of the columns. Now what I will do is that I will just switch it off this particular layers, because I don't want these all the things. So I will see which I have switched off it. This is also we have switched off, and this is also. So now what I require only the dimensions, or either this particular thing I have copied it from one location and taken it to the another one. So what are the things I don't require in this plan now? I will delete it everything. So the text which I will present over here is not required, so I will just take it out. Then this one if required you can put it over there, if not required you can delete it. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to join these all the lines. In fact I am going to just represent or going to just prepare a single line plan of the exterior lines or exterior walls, because we are interested to just show the center line plan in this case or foundation layout. So that's why what I'm doing this one, deleting all the wall thicknesses and just showing the internal walls and this particular things. So generally if anyone wants or supposed to show this particular all things in your plan, you can show it, but for an sake of simplicity, in this particular drawing of the center line plan, delete all this particular things, double line plans and all things not needed over here. So just what I did is that I have deleted each and everything. It's a good practice to work like this, because whenever you are working on any kind of the any kind of the drawing, it is supposed to be did uniquely, because whenever we are working on any kind of the drawing one should get each and everything correctly and precisely. So what I'm doing is that just I'm doing this kind of the things, because in center line plan no one is interested to see what are the dimensions or what are the sizes of the wall thicknesses are there. Just we are interested to see what exactly the center to center dimension of the column is there. So just I am now going to present somewhat we are closer to go for the representing the center lines. This requires some more time, so whenever you are working on the center line plan, be aware that the layers has been provided and you can just delete these layers by clicking a single thing. Because if you working on any kind of the drawings and if you are knowing what are the things you require before going for that particular drawing, so you can have everything ready for before going for that particular work. So just I'm finishing my work now. So that's it, we have finished it. Only one line I think here is remaining to be joined. So that's it, what we are having or what we are discussing, we have done it. So now this is the thing what I am having along with me, and I am supposed to be shown again the plot area, because what generally things are being happen some of the times, we are representing the dimensions or the center lines, but some of the times one may not getting exactly the plot dimension after putting all these particular things. That's why for a cross check what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to show the plot lines also, and accordingly I will show these all things. So now the plan, single line plan is ready along with me, and the plot dimension is also ready with me. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to see what was the dimension of the plot. So this plot is particularly of size 9 meter by 12.5 meter. So okay, so after getting the center line plan, we will check that is it this particular thing is correctly we are getting or not. So before going for any kind of the center line plan, one must finalize first of all which corner we are having ready to take an reference. In this particular drawing I will consider this particular corner as a reference, and that's why what I'm going to do is that first and foremost thing is that replace the UCS. So I will write type of UCS and press the enter, and I will place, or I will say that this is the mm, location of it. I will mention that after press entering the this UCS, I'm going to place this UCS at my given location. So UCS new, enter, and just click on the location where you want this particular thing. After placing the UCS, you can go on this particular dimension, and over here click on the ordinate, because it is in linear, and this type of the alignments or the measurement type you are supposed to select the ordinate measurement. So in this you can get a value with related to this particular coordinate. So now I have shown this particular thing as 0.00. Now I can go on the annotate. So from this particular location I am supposed to check this dimension is continue or through the baseline, because we are taking a reference line from this, so I am supposed to take this as a reference from baseline. The dimension will be on baseline. So after getting this, the work is very easy. Just keep putting click on the center of the every particular column. So now I am not getting this particular line, so I will go on into the setting of the dimension, and I will make one change over here, that there should not be fixed length, and it's okay, we not got that beyond the string dimension. Offset from origin is not this 0.01. Okay, now close. D. All right. Okay. Okay. So it's not being getting over here. So what we are going to do again, we are going to check that is it our what we will consider, is it coming or not. Yeah, now we have changed all these things, and again we are repeating the same thing. So exactly these three columns are having at same center line, so only single click. Now I'm just clicking on the center point of the every column, and I will get a dimension with reference to the 0 point. So these are the center points of every column. So likewise I will click on every column. This is the face of the building, and this is the plot boundary. Look at this, we got on 12.50. So after having each and every column, clicking each and every column, we are not bothered about the remaining one, because all the columns whatever present in our plan we are having with us now. So now the vertical columns or the vertical alignment or vertical dimensions or measurements for the center line of the column we have taken. Now horizontally we will look at this, again go on to the ordinate, select your 0 point. If we are having point at this particular, say we will say the 0 point or reference point, and again go on to the dimension from baseline references. Now what I am going to do is that one by one I am clicking this column center point, going on to the top, This is having same center, so not necessary. I will check. This column is also having same center point. This column is also having same. So wherever same column center point is there, don't go for again clicking on that particular column center, because unnecessarily you will have a different kind of the dimension at one place on one another one, and you will be again in get confused that which line is supposed to be kept. So likewise we have shown each and everything over here. Now one thing I'm going to do is that I am going to place and proper measurements. So I will show like this. So what will happen due to this, one can understand exactly which dimension is coming from which place. So that will not be an confusion, because some of the time like this the measurements are very closer, and the person who is observing or who is referring these particular drawings may be in the confusion that which dimension is from which column. One can also represent the numbers of the column in this particular dimension. So right now what I'm doing is that I'm just putting the dimension. So as from just view I thought that this is somewhat long distance, so I'm just decreasing it. Now I'm with my this center line plan. So what I'm going to do is that again I'm going to some modification in this particular thing. So what I'm going to do is that I will put an dimension of the dashed line. So by this what is happening in this particular thing, we can understand by showing this dash line, we can understand easily for which particular column this is being provided. So it's okay not getting selected, so I will select all the thing, and I will go on this dashed. So properties of this particular thing, and I will put it 2. So now we can judge that yeah, this is the lines coming from this particular walls, and this is what we are having. So again, for the property we are going to use for this one and this one. So now this is nothing but the center line plan we are having with us, and we are going to represent it like this. So look at this. This is what we are having our center line plan. So one can get an each and every dimension at particular column. If you are having, look at this, if I will give an example, one can have, if suppose this is the C10, then if suppose this is C11, for example, again this numbers I am giving in this particular location. So if anyone having this C1 and C10 and C11, so you can just place a number of the columns at this particular location. So you can say that this is what you are having with you. For example, I will just have I will do some more changes over here. We will change the color of this particular thing, so one can understand exactly the column number. This particular 11.40 dimension or the length is of C10 column, and now I can show for this particular thing the column number is C11, and also I can write down these particular things, the for what purpose I have shown this 11.60. So I can mention the face of the building or face of the wall, rather I will say over here. So while using this particular drawing, one can understand exactly for what purpose this is being there. Then face of the or boundary line, you can say that the boundary line. Generally while preparing any kind of the drawing, one should be careful that what kind of the presentation or what kind of detailing we are going to be provide, because how much detailing we are providing, that much the probability is that one can use it correctly. Now again, next thing, we are having a center line plan. Now I am going to be represent the uh, foundation plan. So I will just delete these center lines, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just prepare a plan of the mm, foundation. So just put it over here, put an offset of 75 mm, so 0.075. So likewise, what we are going to do is that likewise we are going to replace or place the different columns at this location. So accordingly, we can understand how this layout is being prepared. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just put this and this. So this is what I'm expecting. So I will delete this one now because this wasn't taken for only purpose of the placing the column inside the center point. So this is the flat or the stepped footing, rather we can say that for step footing no any sloping is we are showing. So in this case, what we are doing, again we are taking it in another way. If alignment is somewhat changed, so I will show and change the alignment. So this is the alignment I will show. If for example sloped footing is there, again I will show another type. If my sloped footing is there, so such a kind of the such a kind of the suppose I will say that of 1 inch or 0.025 offset is there, so I will show. And this sloping, if slope footing is there, then I am supposed to show uh, this particular plan of the foundation. So generally you can show these all things along with the measurements what exactly you are putting. So these are nothing but the sloping footings and these are the stepping footings. Generally if someone wants to show this one, you can put it according to the structural design. Again I am telling you, so just copy and place wherever this type of the footings are there. So sloping footing there, then place it like this. Again be careful that the alignment of the column, how your alignment of the column is being there. So for vertical alignment we have taken this particular cross section of the plan. So in this particular problem I have taken this kind of the sloped footing for explaining. So whatever type of the structural design or foundation design you are having, accordingly you can put it over here. So this will be now combined footing according to the design, so because the spacing is very much lesser. Now for 380 or 450, sorry, this is 380 dimensional work we are having. So now I'm going to make it for 450. This is for nothing but 450. So take it down, put it over here. Good. Now for this 11 also we are having same. So I will take it again and put it over here. So accordingly, I can represent the center line plan and the foundation plan for a structural design whatever I am having. So hope you everyone have got or understand how to prepare an center line plan and how to prepare and foundation layout for any kind of the problem or any kind of the plan you are having. So thank you for watching video. Hope you have understand another everything whatever represented over here. If you are having any kind of the query related to the preparation of this center line plan or showing the layout of the foundation, you can put your feedback on my comments in my video. And also you can subscribe my channel and like this video if you have liked really. and also I am interested to get an your feedback related to the upcoming videos. So thank you very much for watching my video.